Taurus. Welcome to Mountain Medicine. My name is Mindy, and I'm going to do a full reading for you guys, just a general reading today, and it's going to be a medicine wheel, and I'll just kind of explain the places as I go. I tried last month to explain the places beforehand, and it just got really long, so I'm going to explain as I go, and I'm going to start with these orange cards here, which were written by Jamie Sams. And she is Seneca, so up in the Great Lakes area. So, right in the center, which is the center of you, we have decisions. Okay. And it's upside down, so you probably are between a rock and a hard place, and that's okay. That's at the center there, and we will hopefully get some clarity on which way to move next. So we'll go down here to the bottom, and this parchment right here talks about the past and relationships. And we need to purify. Okay, well that makes sense. Decisions, in order to be made, you have to clear space for the new knowledge to come in. It sounds a little silly, but it's kind of like making space in your wallet for what you want to manifest. So I like to do cutting cord ceremony, which I have. If you're interested in that, that's free as well. So letting go of old stagnant energy brings the information from other realms and other sources to be able to get to you if you give it a space to come through. So keep that in mind, and we'll move over here to where this corner is all about the space of within. So if you think of like a bear hibernating, that's the best way to describe that space. And you have burdens. Interesting. Okay, so the burden basket was like a little backpack they used to carry around. Make sure you're not carrying too much or too little. According to the people around you, obviously, a little old lady would carry a lot less than a big, strong warrior. So you have a decision in the middle here to make. It seems like for general reading, it's kind of a general question. Maybe one of those things where you could go any direction you please. Which is kind of what I'm getting. It just is saying you need to be releasing a little bit before moving forward. But luckily, up here is divine guidance. So our next card is going to be kind of a clarity card from the other realms. And let's see. We have the smoky mirror. Interesting, and it's upside down. So the mirror is an interesting one. It's about seeing in others the things that we need to see so that we can fully understand that action or that aspect of life and either do the exact same thing or the exact opposite. So, for example, if you have a coworker that's making you absolutely insane because they keep stealing your sandwich, so then you go home and steal your sister's sandwich or your brother's sandwich in order to make up for the sandwich that got stolen for you. That's kind of an extreme example of this reflection energy. Or you can think of it as someone who's really type A, has a lot of management skills, and then while you're working with them, it's just completely unbearable, right? Because they're so vindictive, or they're so like undermining, or they're so hot-headed, or something like that, something you do not like. And you go home and you don't realize it, but you've been treating your mother this way, or you're treating somebody on the internet this way that you don't even know, or it's just that reflection. So we'll get a little bit deeper into the energy up there as we get along. And right here is going to be the space of forward movement in the physical realm, so more of like an action step. And let's get that on the table here. Okay, so then we have healing. So lots and lots and lots of healing, burdens, purification, and mirrors. Interesting. Okay, at the bottom of the deck we have the rainbow. So do not fear. The rainbow is kind of in like this swastika shape, and they relinquished the swastika over like Nazi Germany, but this symbol is actually extremely sacred, and it represents all four of the directions moving in harmony. So it's like this swirling type energy, and that's why it's saying whirling rainbow. So the energy behind it is like the rainbow warrior, the people who are put on this earth to make a big difference. So I feel like that is going to come in really handy when we talk about your gifts or your new focus, because I feel like you probably have a pretty big story to share, and mine's to blow, because this is about bringing the world together without any racial differences, or, you know, not caring if somebody is white, green, purple, blue. They're all still human, right? And we have this one race, and it's called the rainbow race, and it's the people who were sent here by the angels to make the world green again. So that's this card, and I just wanted to pull that for you because I feel like there's lots of downward energy. So let's see what goes in the middle. Perfect. So the moon, wonderful. So if you are female or male, but specifically female, working with the moon as far as with like menstrual cycles can be really beneficial, just knowing what's going on with the moon as you come up to that cycle. So if the new moon is in Leo, for example, you might want to concentrate a little bit more on Leo energy, which is what this super blood moon just was. So harnessing and focusing on those energies are going to be very powerful for you. And what it does is it fine-tunes your intuition, and it helps you to do this self-reflection stuff. So it's a very advanced energy, I would say, and I think it goes along with this quite a bit, and I'm hoping it will sway the decision that is coming up soon for you. Hi, baby. So we'll go down here into this south space, which also is relationships. So we will see what this pertains to depending on what cards we get. So the first one we had was the purification card, which is this one about the sweat lodge, and it's literally about going into a little hogan and not seeing anyone for a really long time and being trapped in there with heat and steam, and as you walk out you're fully exfoliated, right? And so then we have this one, which is kind of like a backpack, and when you release the burden, it's like a weight has been lifted. So I definitely think that in the relationship sector, there's been kind of a sudden change maybe, or something that's not balancing, and that's making you look more into self-reflections, and then we have self-reflection here too. So 2 reflections. And just keep that in mind. I don't feel like it's negative energy or anything. Let's see what comes up for the past. A card for Taurus past. Okay, so, oh, these are stuck together. I'm not sure why. You obviously needed 2 cards. Okay, so perfect. We have 2 different direction energies here, and this is why it gets confusing to do the medicine wheel, because all of the placements mean something different, and in this case, you got the east and you got the north. So the east is this space right here. It's all about moving forward, and this one says universal law, learning and sharing. So it's about that forward movement, like having all of the tools that you need to move forward. So that's really good energy. Right here with the purification, I think, and this right here is cleansing as well. So the north is all about abundance naturally, but then again, these are different offers. So this one, releasing burdens, came right after your burden basket or backpack. Detoxification and energy flow. So it's kind of about winter. It's like that white, clean slate. So I'm thinking there was kind of a dramatic change, and the decision, or maybe the decision is still lying within you, but the decision is just kind of to drop the baggage, and that can be anything. And if you're in a relationship now, and nothing is wrong, then don't panic. It might just be that you will be looking into your own personal psychic abilities and doing this reflection work in order to magnify your energy flow, and doing this purification could just be exfoliating. It could be very simple as that, or it can be on the other side of the spectrum, a breakup just happened or is coming up for you, and they're telling you that your self-reflection, you reflecting on your abilities and what you were able to learn, and maybe even offering healing to others because of sharing your story. So that could be very powerful for you. So we're going to move over to this far left side here, and that's going to represent the west. And that one has a little backpack, the burden basket, and then right after that we have, or right before it, sorry, this one is releasing burdens, and then it just flows right into this backpack energy of having something heavy. So the next one is here in the west side, which is all about like the bear. It goes into hibernate, and from there we have this new beginnings card. So I think it's new beginnings, thought process, and inspiration. So what I think is going to be happening is there's going to be like a whole shift. We kind of have this circular energy right here. It's almost like the wheels of change are turning. And so some big decision is happening. And one thing to keep in mind when there's big decisions is that it's not always up to you, but you always want to be the one who comes out with the benefit, right? So in one way or another, if the universe is giving you this conundrum or inability to control, I understand how frustrating that can be, but just trust in your own abilities, because it seems it doesn't get stronger than this card right here. In all of the decks, this is the highest vibe card I could get. So, and I feel like the unity here is going to be you connecting to other people that have had similar situations, or reflecting on your personal abilities, and then possibly offering some sort of healing. So with this one, coming right after cleansing and doing this detoxification and cleanse, purification, all of this, we have the East again. How interesting is that? I hope you guys can see. I'm so sorry about the light. I'm trying. Okay, so new beginnings, thought process, and inspiration, and that's what we do here in this space. It's like a feminine, kind of right brain creative retreat that we do over in this space. And so if you're thinking over there of new beginnings, then it's like possibilities are endless and you can go any direction. And that's exactly what I'm feeling for you. It's like spread your wings and pick a direction and just enjoy it. So whatever it is that's coming to an end, if you feel like something is ending, please just trust that that is the process and try and cleanse whatever was in that direction and just fly away in another direction if possible. Traveling would be very beneficial. Stuff that literally makes you feel like you're getting up off of the ground and getting up out of this old situation that might have given you some good wisdom and good lessons, but for the most part, I think you need to spread your wings a little bit, and this self-reflection, self-reliance, self-everything is very independent, and I feel like that'll likely magnify and solidify this freedom feeling, and I think it's going to be really nice. So moving up here to the north space, which is where abundance and manifestation and crystal healing and Wiccan stuff, or anything that's otherworldly, other realms, super woo, whatever you want to call it, is up in that quadrant. And the very first one we got was the self-reflection. So let's check that out. We have upside down here the renewal card, spiritual process, success, and hope. So again, we have this flying energy, and you have like this moon that's got your back, and the moon is here with another winged creature. So I really feel like this flying energy is really powerful. If there's a way to travel, I definitely recommend it. If not, then I would do some meditation type stuff, because you can travel spiritually just through meditation, astral projection, that type of thing. So if you haven't tried that, I would definitely give it a try. I just feel like the spiritual process, being able to open up that third eye, is going to be really powerful for you, especially right now. Just with the moon just is the feminine mystic and the creature who creates her own reality and creation energy as a whole. Just that like divine feminine is all about the moon and then creating cycles, and we have this cycle of movement here. So as long as you release the baggage, like, you just need to trust that the universe has your best interest in mind, and you can wake up every morning and say, what would you have me do that is to my highest good? And that will help a lot. Oh my goodness. So look how bright this is. This is the sun. So we're talking about just like a sunrise. We've got eagles here again, so more flying energy, direction, illumination, and active growth. So that's perfect for this space right here, which is right where it's going to go, because, wow, it's just really, really good energy. It's like an Aries energy. We've got like the sun and the moon. We've got 2 suns and 2 moons. So that's very cool. I think that's very balanced, and I think, let's think here. Yeah, I feel like it's renewal moving forward. So if there's a relationship that's coming to an end, I just feel like it's for the better, and it's going to help you to spread your wings, if that makes sense. Okay, I'm done with this deck, which is why it's not throwing me a card, and I'll grab my next one, which is all animals. This one is also Jamie Sam's. It's just spirit medicine cards is what it's called. Okay, so let's see what animals we can attach to this scenario and see how we can fit it in here. Okay, so Taurus. Okay, camouflage. This guy's come out already in the Aries reading. So it has a little bit of the same owl energy. He actually came out with owl last time too. So it's just a little bit more strategic. It's not so out in the open. It's not so, I don't want to say abundant, but I don't want to say flamboyant either. But like a fox stays low to the ground. They don't tell their secrets, right? They stay camouflaged and then they know when to strike type of a thing. So let's just keep that in mind. We'll come back to it. But it's a good energy to have because you never, not never, but having everything out on the table when that energy comes out. Oh, goodness me. Okay, so in the south, this one popped out for the south, and we have the turtle. So the turtle is really Mother Earth. They call the Americas Turtle Island. Some cultures call the entire planet Turtle Island. It's just Mother Earth. It's a cleansing. You have like water and earth connected with any of the amphibians or reptiles most of the time. It's like a transition between earth and water. So it's very grounding, and again, it goes down here with all of these purification, with the sweat lodge, and then it's kind of like while you're there, you will find this like universal knowing or like have an epiphany type of a thing. And then you'll do a little bit more of the purification work, and then cleanse, cleanse, cleanse. So I would do like a physical cleanse of, I don't know, you can do oils, you can do exfoliation. There's so many different things. And then we have this guy that popped out as well. He's a dragonfly, and he is an illusionist because he looks like a stick, flies like a butterfly, but his wings are transparent, right? So he like is like this master magician, and so it's really good energy actually. It's like combining all forces to create something completely unique, right? Because nothing else on the planet looks like these guys. So it's magically illusion. And so I don't want you to think you have to keep secrets from anybody, but these together, it's actually quite magical. And a lot can be done when you kind of like relinquish things in steps or in sections. So it's almost like going to class and having several different paragraphs make an essay rather than just trying to write the entire book right now. You know what I mean? So, two popped out again. I think this one was first. Okay, so as we move up here to the spiritual realm, which is like moving forward with meditation and law of attraction and things, we have this Groose. He's like a little chicken, turkey, quail bird. And these guys are cool because they make little tunnels in the grass, like it's tall grass where they live. And so they have this ability to like dive and almost like swim through the grasses. And then they create these little tunnels that tend to go in a spiral direction, but like they know right where they're going because of how it flows. So it's kind of like how the salmon swim upstream. These guys carve in circles and make almost like a crop circle little thing. So it's about coming back to things that you've learned already and continuing on another way because you know now where that spiral got you. Does that make sense? So watch that. A lot of times with like decisions, the cards just want you to be very firm. So when the spiral comes out and something like that is just a reminder to be like, hey, so you had the success. If you do this and that, it could go either way, is kind of what I feel. So let's put, this card fell out too, and we have power. So I'll put this over by the Groose because he fell out at the same time. But horses are really cool because they're like 1,200 pounds. They're ginormous. but they respond very well to kind of like hierarchy or like herd mentality. And so if you go out there and you start acting like a leader, they will actually all follow you. And it's not a manipulation. It's not. It's just a balance between aggression and direction. So just keep that in mind as you're moving forward with like your spiritual gifts and things, because it might be a slow and steady process, or yeah, we have them keep flying. So let's see, we'll get back around because I do have another deck to go through. So the otter is like the divine feminine, and it flew out. So she's actually really connected to like the moon. We've got some water here, and she kind of gives me this vibe. Otters are used in dress for dancing to define the feminine. And then we have father-son here. So there's definitely like a balance act going on here with the male and female energies, and it feels a little bit chaotic. And I'm thinking it might be a little bit of that back and forth energy. And like I said, kind of standing in your power, making the decision, and sticking with it. And then these ones kind of flew out. We have the mouse, and that one, the mice are interesting because they don't really have like a neck. Their neck muscles don't look upwards, and so they're always looking down and forward. And so you have to be careful with tunnel vision, not to get too dead set on one option, or be too meticulous with details. And these just flew out, so they're going to go just in a middle. And then confrontation upside down. So I guess these two fell out together for a good reason. Getting a little bit too attached to details and almost like micromanaging, and this one too, they kind of all go together a little bit. Like this one is full front confrontation, like boars are never going to be sweet to you. No matter what, they just always want to fight. And you might be dealing somebody with that mentality that is just impossible, and you are kind of being this where it's like, how do we get around this? What is our goal? What details can I move around? How can I switch things up for you to make things better? And I just don't recommend looking and hunting into details unless it's of your own personal nature and moving forward, just because this power struggle is here with the confrontation. So it makes a little bit more sense for me to just kind of learn the lessons and put the past behind in such a way, or so to speak. But, you know, if it's not a relationship that you're dealing with and it's more of a job or something else that you're concentrating on, just let me know. I am pretty good about responding to comments, so just let me know. So in the middle here we have this snake, and the snakes actually are always really good energy. So just snakes as in a general sense, they are transformation. So it's shedding that old skin and moving into your new skin in one lump sum, right? So it's like making the decision and sticking to it. This one in particular is about sliding into really small spaces. So it's kind of interesting. But he went into like a cave, and the very top of his head, the very tip top of his head, if I get close it loses the light, but the very top of his head is like a little jewel, like a little triangle. And so the people wanted to harness this energy, and so they snuck into the cave where this snake was hibernating or relaxing, and they tried to harness his jewel, and by chopping off his head or trying to get the jewel from him, it exploded. And now all of this energy that lit up the way and could sneak into these small spaces and illuminate a whole cave, that jewel that let off that much light is believed to have exploded into everything. So it's kind of cool, like creation energy that's like in legend. So it's kind of like finding that there's miracles everywhere, and there's miracles in every little thing. And so I'm thinking that it is kind of like, see this as a blessing. If this person just goes away on their own, then you're that much closer to this and going further and traveling and having whatever it is that you want, essentially. So we have the snake in the middle there, which is really good energy, actually. It's just find the little miracles. And he's right here with the mouse, who has all these little tiny details. So you want to find a good mix. Just do what feels good. Don't ever stress yourself out to get everything done. And, you know, power struggles, like, just let everybody live however they want, and then you do you. So down here at the pass, we'll go after the Mother Earth cleansing energy with the womb. So that's pretty perfect because it's about the same thing. It's this mothering energy. It can be like connect with your mother. That's one way to do that. Or, you know, the Mother Earth is another way, and the moon is another. So we have this really feminine energy. So being with other females, the womb could mean that you're thinking about babies, but I doubt it. I think it has a lot more to do with hunkering down, getting yourself in your cuddle cave is what I call it, and really letting your spirit kind of soar and make plans like an Airbnb or something. I feel like would be really beneficial, or anything that gets you out of whatever this present moment decision is, because our minds just work better and easier when we have a break. So give your mind a break. The left brain needs to kind of slow down a little bit, and then just let's see what to concentrate on in your space. Okay, so the cosmic egg is all about creation energy. It's like the first atom, like the Big Bang. So it has all of this super powerful creation energy. Over here with the magic dragonfly, and then the mirror, which is all about self-reflection. So I think that's really powerful as far as your personal gifts, psychic abilities, and ability to see energies or create energies, that type of thing. And creating your own destiny as well. You can change your entire life's direction with a millisecond decision. So I think that's kind of what the universe is telling you, is just don't get attached to outcomes. Just do what feels good that makes you feel like you're getting away from this power struggle or the confrontation that's kind of going on. So, yeah. Here's the obsidian knife. It's the sharpest knife you can get. And it comes right here before your forward movement. So this is definitely saying the burdens and the purification and getting things off of your back, the cleansing, detoxification, burdens, all of that needs to be shed in order for the movement to happen, I feel. And, you know, you do not have to take the card's advice. You really don't. But speaking from example, things are just a lot easier when you do. If you don't release it now, and if you need help with this, I'm doing a group program that I'll talk about at the end. But here, let's see. You have one more card, and then I can talk about it. So, in the East here, we have, moving forward, there's going to be healing. So, when you cut the cord, the healing begins, but then the sun comes in. We heard that, like, the wound is the place where the light enters us. Right, well, you have the father sun right here, and then you have this otter, which is this really feminine energy that's really innocent and soft and smooth. You can kind of see it almost looks like a cartoon character. You know, those, like, Aristocats? It kind of reminds me of that feminesque energy, and so it's just the divine feminine. And it comes right here with active growth and, like, and this knowledge of which direction to go. And it's going to come to you once you clear your mind. So, I guess that one wanted to come out. So we have this duality of the two moths right here and the light in the center. So it's kind of the same thing where it's like go to the light. It's not like one of them can have it and the other one cannot, because there's two. It's more like they have this ability to go towards the light, and that's all they can really see. You know what I mean? So just turn yourself completely off to any absorbing of negative energy and just decide, whenever it is you want to decide, that you're not going to do anything that does not align with you. And just doing that, or just flipping a coin sometimes, because I wish I could tell you which direction, but every time the decisions or someone asks me which way should I go or what should I do as my career, I simply get a vision of somebody standing in the middle of a field with like 10 or 12 different options stemming from them like a spider web. So the opportunities are endless. Your wings are able to fly. It's almost like a hot air balloon, and you have all these sandbags tied. So it's a really good idea to just figure out what needs to be released, and you can just journal about it, do some forgiveness work, cut cords. I do have a video of that, like a how-to of how to do the cutting cords. It's in my Facebook group if you have that, or comment on this video. It's just called Mountain Medicine Mindset, and I will go ahead and tag that on this video. And in addition to that, I'm hosting a group program, which is one of the only ways to work with me right now. I'm going to start that 2/18 of 2018, so during this month, and I will be taking you guys on a journey through this whole spread where we go past, within, above, forward, and we do very specific cutting cords aspects and healing, and then we go within and talk about like your brand and what it is you stand for, and then we go forward and connect you to your spirit guides and connect the intuitive know-how and harnessing abilities, and then give you a strategic action plan on